All right, guys. Be careful, Roger. Going home. Hey, guys. Sorry that took so long. I thought I'd be on earlier. All right, so this is for some people that wanted to see from Facebook how to embellish or how I embellish a pour. So the first thing is I took a photograph and I cut it out in white paper, just the outline. This is one way I do it. Now, sometimes I'll just paint with the pip markers on top of the gel medium because I put that on with gel medium. And sometimes I just paint straight with the pip markers, but also I like to use paper. So I've taken my photograph and I've cut a body and the wing using the photograph out of paper. Hi, guys. And so then I'll use gel medium to attach that. And give it a coat. Let that dry. And then I'll come back and paint the rest of the details using the pip markers. So it's a little kingfisher. It's going to look something similar to that. Hi, Dot. Hi, Shauna. All right, so and then I have all the colors already pulled. Let me set that aside for later and let that dry. All right, so the other way that I embellish is I do a collage. Now, this is just a drawing of 3 sea turtles, and I'm going to underpaint using some craft paints. And I'm just using Americana, Deco Arts brand. Sometimes I also use the Traditions by Deco Arts, which I actually like a little bit better for more opaque. And I'm just going to put a light coat of this paint. This is just a drawing paper, so it's not a heavy weight. Just putting a little bit of this paint down on my craft mat. Are you feeling any better, Shauna, besides just being tired from your trip? And I am going to take a little bit of a yellow and put just a little bit of a yellow out here. Hi, CB. When do you leave, CB? Hi, Shy. All right, so I'm just going to grab a little bit of the buttermilk and a little bit of yellow and put that on. Let me zoom in the camera just a little bit. I don't want to zoom it in too much. This is just to give Tuesday morning. Wrong way, sorry. All right.
That was me. I want to do what I want to do. I don't necessarily, I like what they want to hear. But
and this is just an underpainting. It's not the finished product. I still want to go ahead and see my lines a little bit. And I really don't care if I go outside of the lines right now because it's going to get cut. And I usually use a light color or a mid-tone range when I do this. I'm going to blot that. I just wanted to pull back some of that color. All right. So then when that's dry, I'll add colored pencil to it. Okay, and then let's go even lighter on this side. All right, I'm gonna get that wet and kind of blot that a little bit. Do that third one, and then we'll get to the pour.
yeah, intermediate.
Okay, put a little bit of water on there and blot. me put those aside to dry. That's how I do the underpainting. Just really fast. And I just use craft level brand paint. You don't want a acrylic that's going to have a lot of plastic or satin finish. You want it to have that toothy or chalky finish. All right, so what I'm going to do then is we're going to pour. So let's take the leftover of this blue that's on my table. Let's put that in a cup. Put that little bit of white. I'm just getting the stuff that's left on the table. A little bit of green. I just got all that leftover stuff. It won't make enough of a difference to that color. So this is the pour that the turtles are going to go on, that we're going to do. And I haven't mixed my paints, so those of you who have your own formula, know what you're doing, you might want to just skip it forward. Because this is a live stream. Hi, Mindy. All right, so this is Sea Breeze. All right, let me put those up. So I'm working with minimal table space. I want to clean up as I go. It helps not knock something over. All right, and then I'm going to add flood to my paint. When it's craft paint, I just do it about 1 to 1. When it's heavier paint, you can do a little heavier. All right, we want some yellow. Most of the paints I'm going to use are Master Touch from the big Hobby Lobby sale. This is a little thicker. So I need more Floetrol, but less paint. And well, actually, I think I am going to just I was going to do a big white, but I'm just going to do a small one because I'm not actually using that much white in this. Okay. Little dioxine purple. And this is the Traditions. All right, then we're going to do a little bright green. And a dark blue. And that was real thick. Now to that green, I'm going to add some of this Artist Loft metallic, and same with the blue. This is almost gone. I have a brand new one. just to give them a little metallic shimmer. All right, let's add some Floetrol to the blue. All right, this is my color I'm going to swipe with. So I want a lot of it. That aside. All right, and then I want just a little bit of quinacridone magenta. And a little bit of, oh, that was good. These tubes do this all the time. They're the Grumbacher Academy acrylics. I don't know how to not make it do that. And I always forget when I grab those tubes, not paying enough attention. Okay. Oh, it'll be a mess to mix. All right, and then I'm going to do the two PBOs together, the blue-green and the green-blue. And I'm going to do the gold-green. If I can get the little lid off. I don't like these new tubes of PBO that I bought. Hard to get the lids on and off. Okay. So, all right, and I know they're going to need a little bit of water, so I'm going to put just a little bit of water in each one. Get out some sticks here. Some paper towel ready. All right. Mix those, and you want them the mixture, but pancake batter. Just make sure there's no lumps. Now, let me put silicone oil in too while I'm thinking about it. And it's treadmill oil that I use. I'm just going to put a small drop. in all of them. Including the turquoise. All right. I'll go to that turquoise next, that light turquoise. Here's the PBO. Give that a little bit of a wipe. This is the yellow. And the white. A little bit of yellow in that white. I don't care. Like I said, for what I'm going to do, it's not going to matter. The only thing I don't like about these little Dixie cups is they're kind of flimsy for mixing in. They're the right size. All right, so let's leave that. Get another stick here for the dark ones. All right, my purple. That'll dry darker than what it's showing right there. All these will dry darker than what they show on the screen initially. Okay. I think this is the pink. The green with the metallic in it. So it'll give me 4 that are metallic. And the blue, like kind of an ultramarine blue that's metallic. And darker color. I think this one needs a little shot of blue in it. So I'm just put a little bit of that blue in there. I want a little more blue-green than it is from the tube. Yeah, that's better. Okay, and then we just have the big one that we're going to swipe with. And I need to get something to swipe with. A piece of paper or something. Okay, so let's move the little paints. Put those up. Put my light colors my bottom colors to different side. Okay, we're gonna have to back the camera out for sure. That's a white canvas. Here, let me keep the camera from going crazy there for a minute. That's good. You can see all of the canvas. All right, something to swipe with. I'm just going to use a heavier piece of white card. All right, so the way that I'm planning this is the top is going to be lighter, and then the bottom, it's going to get darker. Actually, I'm going to want to swipe this way, so the light will be up here. So what I'm going to start with is puddles of yellow. But less as you go down. Okay. And this little limey green, I'm going to put in more in the middle. All right, and my white, I'm going to put at the top and down towards the middle. And the light turquoise, I'm going to kind of keep it on the sides more. And in this middle. All right, and then a little darker turquoise. The sides and in the middle. A little bit more of this paint here. All right, and then the dark blue down here. It was a lump that had formed. Just a little bit up here. More on the sides. All right, and then the green. And I am going to put just a little bit of white here and there, farther down. All right, and the pink, I want very, in fact, I got too much pink. It's supposed to represent the coral, the purple and the pink. Go ahead and get the corners while I'm getting. All right, and then the dark green. So this up the top like the blue. Okay. Take my blue and green that are left, mix them together for a bottle and another day, maybe. We'll see. I don't know what I'll do with that pink. Okay. On her car roof? Yeah. That'd be pretty hard to do, Dot. You have to really get up on over it. And I don't know how you tilt it. And unless you use the right kind of paint, it's not staying on there. Of course, I know she drove through the car wash, and I've got some places that it looks a little heavy. It's going to be a swipe, so I'm not really concerned. It's already starting to sell up where I mixed it. Actually, might as well just take it over this edge. Just to keep it easier. And I don't have to worry about it. It'll most likely get covered up, but if I do this, I don't have to. It'll be easier when I go to tilt it. All right. So I'm gonna put the turquoise up here. I want some of that to definitely run off. I have plenty of that turquoise, so I'm going to double fold the card sheet. Okay. Just taking that card and putting it down the side. I'm using that paint. And I'm going to go one more time. All right. To the canvas right in here. All right, let's get the torch out and see what we can get to come up. All right, my turquoise is really thick here in places. So I think I'm going to take my knife. The paint that's coming off there is so pretty. Okay. Trying to get some more of that darker color to show up in here. I'm going to hit it with the okay. I gotta put some more. Getting little cells, not big ones, but since I just want water, it doesn't have to be a super. Let's see if I could let it move just a little. So I don't think it's going to move much. I think that's pretty much it, the way it's going to stay. A little vibration to help it along the way here and there. And it needs a little bit of paint back up on here. Okay, and then there's a little bit of naked canvas over here. All right, I think that's as good as it's going to get. The problem was my swipe paint was a little on the thick side, I think. It needed more water, definitely. But when I get the turtles on there, it'll be just fine. So let me set that aside. To dry. And clean up my hands a little bit, and then we'll go back to one of the previous. Hi, Tammy. Yeah, as long as it doesn't crack, because if the paint's too thick, it could crack. But I haven't really had that problem with these paints. I still have some turquoise left, and I have this dark greeny whatever color. Let's add that in to that. Get rid of that. I want to save that paint in, well, I'll find a bottle or something, like a water bottle, to put that in later. The pink I'm just going to throw away. There's not very much pink. Put the cap on the Floetrol. All right, so we'll work on this. And I'll show you the next step on this. I'm not going to finish this on camera, just because I'm not. It's too hard. So the next step that I'll do is take like brown and then let me get that. And I'm going to do sort of like a, let me zoom the camera in. And our little. All right, so what I'll end up doing with the colored pencil is coming in and working some of my brown shapes. And then as I get those done, I'll come around them with kind of a creamy color, just sort of to finish them off. And I might even use a little bit of like a burnt ochre color. And kind of a terracotta. So that's kind of what I'll do with those browns. And then, like I said, I'll come in and I might even come in with a lighter color in areas. even where I've got more light, come in with this brighter, kind of an orange color. I'm not really worried about shading at this point even too much. Because when the colored pencil's done, then I'll cut it out and I'll put it on and I'll use the Pitt pens. But I'll sit and do this while I'm watching TV. And come back in and work on it. And I'll use my reference photos to help me make decisions on shape and color. So let me put those up because that's how I do that. And I usually do it when I watch TV. And then when it's all done, I cut it out and I use Mod Podge to put it on the canvas. It's already been cleaned and dried and cured. So like I won't be able to put these turtles on this canvas for 3 or 4 days till that's dry enough. And then I'll cut these out and put them on. So I'll come back and do that in another video. Okay. Hey, Catherine. All right, so I get a drink here real quick and then we'll get started on this. Now you want to make sure that your hands are clean before you start blending. So I'll get a clean baby wipe to use for this project and kind of make sure that I'm not going to transfer any of that green color. All right, I'm going to start with I'm going to start with his feet. And kind of go in with a brown and a gray maybe. And there's a little bit of the canvas that should show through. And since it's dark, I'm just going to put a little bit of black in there. And let that kind of dry. And I'm coming back with the yellow. Okay, so then let's come in with some gray on the wood to start with. I hit the bottom of that cloth, so I'll define that later. And I'm just going to work my way darker. This right here is some of the feather hanging out over the tree. So I'm going to put that in there. Let that kind of dry. All right, then I'm going to go to my next darker color. All right, and then my last color is the very darkest. And I kind of want to make that have a blend. And I'll flick. Need to get in here where these little white bits are around the feathers. All right, so that's the branch. The Prisma, the big set, 150, 150 pencils. And you can find them on sale a lot of times during the holidays. Back to school, they might have a good sale on them. You can get smaller sets, but if you're going to use them a lot and you want a big color range, I just get big. Because I always regret because if you go like, okay, I'm going to get the 24, and then I'll get the, all right, I'm going to put an orange on the beak. And let it sit and just dry. Now, when I use this on the paper, I don't have to do as much. I just have to kind of add some darks in. And sometimes with my white Posca. Now, if you want to invest in these, I recommend a little different approach. They sell these in sets, and the sets are in color families, and you'll get very little duplication. So, like they have an autumn set that has almost all of your browns and your oranges and reds and some purples and pinks. I think it's 12 pieces in that set. The landscape is the first one that I got. And it depends what you want to paint. They have a portrait set. That's good. Also, the set of 6 grays is, because you'll get warm grays and cool grays, is invaluable. Oh, that yellow was dirty. So I didn't like that, so I'm just going to wipe it back off, let it dry, and start over. And I'm using the lighter color to kind of clean it up a little. And then I've got, you can't see it, but I've got some paint on the canvas right here. I want it to take off. If you got all the pip pins, it will be very, very expensive. They sell, and you can't, I don't even think they sell all of them in a set. I think 72 is the biggest set they sell, and they're high. But when you get a set of 6, you pay about anywhere from $8 to $15, depending on where you get them. Sometimes you'll find a really good deal and get a sale. Yeah, you sent me a lot of the jumbos, which is the same thing as this. It's just 2 different sizes. These are usually what I bought the sets in, this size. They're my preference over the jumbos because I can get finer detail. Yeah, the set you gave me, the ones you gave me, it depends what you're going to do, Shauna. The watercolor pens and this are totally different. So, yeah, I still have those too. If you want to watercolor, then, yeah, the zigs. And again, I'd get the biggest set they have. They don't sell separate sets. So if you start with the set of 12 and then jump to the 24, you're going to have duplicates. You might find them as singles somewhere like on Dick Blick, but I have not seen them. And we're talking about these zig clean color watercolor, but that's not going to work for what I'm doing right now. For what I'm doing right now, you would need to use the pip pens, and they're permanent and they're India ink, and you can blend them over the gel medium. Now, you can't do this on raw paper. You have to work over the gel medium. So I don't want anybody who's watching to be confused that the way that I use these is permanent because it's India ink and it's over the gel medium. It is not directly to paper. It is not a watercolor. It's India ink. Right, and then I'm going to come in and gotta turn this. Okay. And this is going to be a little more abstract than the real one. And I chose this paper because there was some white areas that I could get this yellow in. Okay. Sorry, moving the wrong way. Okay, and there's an odd color in here. I'm going to try something. We'll see. Let's see, I think I've killed this one. I probably used it over something. Or it's drying out. All right, I'm gonna have to. Okay. Let's try a light gray. Let's see if I can get kind of a medium lavender color. Help. And come back. Okay, so now we need his eye. A little bit of Posca to do that. And then the dark black. Okay, I'll let that dry. I'm going to turn this real quick so I can hit this side with a smaller pen. And kind of blend that out a little bit with the okay. I'm going to check something real quick. This should go across here. All right, we need a little highlight in his eye. Hi, Ange. Clean that up just a little bit. It's got an eye now, Dot. Dot hates the fact that they don't have eyes. Oh, I'm going to put a little bit of a shadow. Hit that with a little bit darker brown in a couple places and let it dry. Problem is my hands probably dirty. Okay, we'll let that dry. It won't stay the way it is. Hi, Linda. All right, and then what we'll do is we'll add a little light pink to that in just a minute when it's dry. So it shows up as a lighter color. but not white because he's not white there. All right. He just needs another coat of gel medium and he's done. And I'm going to sign this one in white. Right here. Let me back the camera out and you can see the whole thing. Okay. So the light's hitting it, getting a funny reflection. So that's one way. And like I said, the other way is I will color these with colored pencils. Then I'll cut them out and we'll put them on that pour that I did. And I'll use the Pip pens again to add some more depth. But I'll try to get fairly realistic with the colors in here and the markings. And then this is just drawing weight paper, so it'll collage real nice. This one you'll really like, Shauna, when it's done. Yeah, I think it turned out cute on that background because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with that background. And to me, this is like there might be some, it's like a tree, a rainforest, and there might be some kind of abstract wildflower here. And it's a kingfisher. But I thought he popped off of it. But that's it for me. So I'm excited about this one. The pour didn't do exactly what I wanted it to do, the swipe. But in the end, I think it'll end up being fine. I mean, it didn't the way I envisioned the pour coming out. And it's my fault. I should have made that turquoise thinner. But we'll let that dry. I'll work on these while I watch TV. And then I'll come back at sometime next week probably. And we'll put these on the pour. Oh, I know what I was going to tell y'all. I did not make the Primo watercolor. Yeah, it was short. But it was a late start too. Yeah, it's no big deal. In fact, you know, it's probably a better thing, maybe. I don't even know. I think they just now came out with a design team for mixed media and something else. But again, I don't think when they say mixed media, I think they think more like using their flowers and a lot of their products, which I don't use. I use their watercolors, and that's about all that I use. So it's not that big a deal. you know, like I said, I'm not a big believer in design teams. It was just a whim. And I knew I may not be. And they only picked 14 new people. 13 of the people were existing. So, but no big deal. Like I said, it's just even less obligation on my half, you know, for me. So, well, I just heard Bob come back in, so I'm going to go eat dinner. Those of you who are watching on YouTube, subscribe, hit the little bell, and you'll know when I go live. And there'll be a part 2 to this where I'll finish the turtles. So, but I think, Shauna, I'm going to get I've pretty much decided I'm going to get the whole binds. Not now, because I can't afford it. But like Christmas time, maybe that might be my Christmas present. So I think I'm going to get the whole binds. But I want one of the big sets. I'm looking at a set of 60, but there is a set of 108. Yeah, they're nice. They're a level up. And a couple of the people, I know some of the people that I watch, there's certain colors I just don't have that I wish I had. So a couple artists that I watch use whole binds. So I've decided that's the ones I wanted to get, that they're nice paints. It was the 60 set was 120, has most of the colors that I want. And then I need to get some black velvet brushes. I thought about the M-grams. I did think about the M-grams because the nice thing about the M-grams is on Amazon, they sell lots of sets. And so you can do like the landscape set, a marine set, and I may go M-gram. That's my other thing I was leaning towards. Because I could build it up in sets. Like you can get the whole quinacridone set. You can get a landscape set. So that was the other thought, was I could just start getting 1 or 2 sets of the M-grams. They're like little 5 and 6 packs. Yeah. And then I looked at the whole bind. So I don't know. It'll have to kind of depend in the fall, one or the other. I'm going to like go one way or the other. I know I don't want Daniel Smith, and I know I want tubes. CB was born naughty. Dot. And I also saw a cute set of liner brushes that I think I'm going to get, like the super fine, tiny liners. I have this one, which is a 00 by Princeton, but I need some of the shorter ones for some of the details. So, yeah, I put 3 sets on my wish list. One set, they were like set of 7, and then a set of 15 that I'm seriously looking between those 2. That's why we love CB, is because she was born naughty. That's why we love Eileen, because she's snarky sometimes. She keeps us on our toes. We have to have something to offset some of these sweet people. All right, guys, I'm gonna in the stream, and I will see you. I might stream tomorrow, depending. I don't know what's going on here. I'll see what's going on at the house. We might watercolor tomorrow or do something. Ange, are you going to stream tomorrow, maybe? You're streaming on Tuesday. I will make sure I'm up, Dorothy. And if you start early, don't be getting on me. Well, I won't be streaming early in any way, shape, form, or fashion tomorrow if I do. I don't know what, like I said, I don't know what's going on tomorrow. I don't think Bob has practice, but I don't know if he's going to the studio. Because I was up on time, Dot, but you started early, I think, last time. I have to get my hours turned around because school starts come August. Tomorrow.